preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
And welcome back. Judy, you look dandy today.
Well, thank you. So do you, I might add.
And you, the listener.
Don't they look great out there?
You know, animal lovers always look wonderful.
It's just from being around animals all the time.
It is a young and restless weekend as the young and restless Greg Rickart, Michelle Stafford, and Judith Chapman all join us today. Big animal lovers.
Yes, they are.
Also, the big news, sad news out of Southern California as fires evacuate over 15,000 animals. We'll go live to the San Diego Humane Society where top dog Dr. Mark Goldstein fills us in. And your comments about Ellen and her dramatic appearance on her show a couple of weeks back, well, they kept our phones ringing white hot all week at 1-866-405-8405.
Mailbox 1, Saturday, 11:08 a.m.
Good morning. I'm calling about the Ellen DeGeneres Animal Rescue League conflict. My name is Cornell. I'm in Reading, listening on WETU. She made a mistake by not reading the contract. But I think that the animal rescue place also made a mistake. They want to get the animal back so that they can find another home for it, which includes screening the home to one degree or another. Matters went from bad to worse when Ellen did what she did on her show. I think the situation could have been corrected easily. This is a mess blown all out of proportion simply because some individual decided to get nasty about it instead of deciding to try to work it out.
I don't know if Ellen's returned to her show yet. I don't watch it anymore. Oh, boy, the phones are going once again. Hi, Animal Radio.
Hello, Animal Radio. This is Paul. I called you and I had bad connection, so I'm calling you back.
How you doing, Paul?
Very good. I listen to your program every chance I get.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Big Water, Utah, just down the road from Kanab, Utah, where I guess you folks are at.
That's where our studios are, and you must be listening on KXAZ. Thank you so much.
Yes, I am.
What can we do for you? You have comments?
Yes, I'd like to comment on the Ellen story.
Please do.
Well, you know, it's very sad, I believe, that people use sensationalism to get their points across when just rational thinking and dealing with a problem in a sensible way. I'm sure that adoption agency probably would have placed that dog with those children if they'd have had the opportunity to interview the family. That's probably where the dog would have been left. But due to her attempt at sensationalism to make her point, she ruined everything. I think that's very sad.
Yeah, there was a lot of ugliness going on in between both parties. I understand the agency does not adopt to children
into homes with children under 14. But again, given the circumstances, they may have had it been done properly.
Yeah, it was just a lot of ugly name calling and really the wrong forum for it. At least that's what I believe here.
Yeah, they were never given the opportunity to look at the situation sensibly.
Yeah. What kind of animals do you have?
I have 2 cats. They were semi-feral cats that we adopted, or I should say they adopted us, and they've become really, really wonderful pets. They're about 16 years old, and we've had them for about 15 of those years.
Wow.
Are they still pretty playful?
Yes, they are.
Okay, we're going to send them some toys from the prize closet here, okay?
Oh, they'll love that.
Well, we thank you very much for calling, and thank you very much for listening to Animal Radio.
Thank you. I enjoy your program.
Hold on one second, if you will.
You bet.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
You know, the numbers from the wildfires in Southern California as they rage on are incredible. 500,000 people evacuated from San Diego County. And if you do the math, the following numbers really make sense. 15,000 animals evacuated. Wow. And to find out the details, you know, we're up here in air-conditioned studios, but right down there on the front line, spearheading what's going on with the animals there, Dr. Mark Goldstein. He's the top dog at the San Diego Humane Society. No stranger to Animal Radio. Doctor, how you doing?
We're doing great out here, and I appreciate that introduction, but I get, as president of the San Diego Humane Society and SPCA, I guess I'm on the front line in that my family itself was evacuated from our own home, but there's a lot of other people that are putting their life and time at risk greater than I, and those are the people on the front, truly the front lines, fighting that fire, and our staff that are right out there rescuing those animals. I truly get to sit in an office most of the time through this.
But I know what really goes on down there, so you don't have to be modest about it. Let's see. Where are these animals? I understand there's small animals being allowed at Qualcomm Stadium right now. How many are there, and where are the large animals going?
Well, first, Hal, one thing that we've seen with this tragic disaster, and yes, you touched upon just the bare numbers are incredible. What we learned from Katrina, to answer your question, is that our community has made every attempt possible to keep animals and families together. So that we have a number of Red Cross shelters, along with you mentioned Qualcomm, that's being run by the city. But we have a number of Red Cross shelters and Qualcomm where people can go and they can actually take advantage of the Red Cross services by staying outside the shelter, putting up their own tents, living on the grounds, and staying with their animals, which is just a godsend, because we know that people will literally put their life at risk if they have to be separated from their animals. I know I would, and I know you, and I bet you would, too.
Yes.
It seems like everybody's a little more prepared this time.
Well, I think we've had a lot to train with. In our own case at San Diego Humane Society, we have 30 staff members that worked at Katrina, so they're war-worn. And we've been thinking about this and planning for it, and, you hope you never have to pull the plans off the shelf. But nature had another thought for us, and I think the answer to that is yes, we were. You asked about large animals. We have some facilities in the county where our own staff can take large animals that have been rescued, and then people, again, can take their large animals to Fiesta Island and, again, stay with them, care for them, and be out of harm's way. So we've got Fiesta Island for large animals. We've got Qualcomm for families and small animals, and then all of the Red Cross shelters throughout the county are accepting families with their animals to be right contiguous with their shelters.
How long do you think these folks will be in temporary digs?
Well, excuse the pun, but there seems to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a flame.
Good.
The winds have shifted. The temperatures are dropping. I think we're all optimistic that hopefully by this weekend, beginning of next week, that we'll have our arms wrapped around these fires, because they still are very much a threat to this county. I wish I could sit here today and tell you we're out of harm's way. We're not. But we're making headway, and all of the signs point to a conclusion coming pretty shortly. And we know from many studies, especially done by the Red Cross, that you want to get people back into the mainstream, and this goes for their families and even their animals, so that it doesn't become an issue of being returned back to the normal day-to-day operations. So we're hoping by the weekend, beginning of next week, that we'll transition into the recovery phase as opposed to the offensive phase. We're fighting for it right now, and we can start that healing process. We actually, I have to tell you, still don't know what we may find when we go back into the burned areas. We do know of people that, as hard as they tried, they could not move all of their animals. We hope to find them okay, but that's still an unknown for us. But I don't think we're going to see anywhere near the numbers that we heard about with Katrina, because we have found that with planning, and I think it's also a reflection of the San Diego community, people have made these animals part of their family and part of their disaster plan.
Yeah, they're taking them this time. Yes. I see on the network news a lot of pictures of tent cities with cages and animals. Are these animals getting along? What's the general feeling around these little cities?
I visited one yesterday afternoon, so I guess I've been out there in the line, and I was inspired. First of all, no surprise, when we have our big dog walks, animals, once you take them out of their territory and they get in a group of animals, they typically are sometimes smarter than we are, and they go, you know what, there's a lot of guys here, and some of them are bigger and some of them smaller, so I'm going to behave. And we've seen very few, if any, serious altercations. We haven't seen any serious ones that I'm aware of. And they seem to be getting along just fine, and the same for the people that are there, too.
Are you looking for any volunteers? What kind of help do you still need?
The largest help we really need right now is, if somebody's listening to this, and I'm not talking 20 or 30 bales because it's not really worth the effort, we'll take a truckload of hay and Timothy or grass hay, because we've got 2,000 to 3,000 horses that we're still trying to keep fed, so that would really help. And really, the other thing we need is just to offset the amazing cost that something like this costs. Is if people are listening, financial support would be very welcome. If they'd like to see the work that we're doing and on daily progression, they could go to our website. Right now, from a people power standpoint, we're doing okay. We've got trained volunteers and trained staff, and in that respect, we're doing very well. We've had organizations like HSUS and Noah's Wish that have come in with some of their staff, trained and helped out in certain locations. So from a people standpoint, we're doing well. Primarily from an equipment standpoint, we're very fortunate. Hay would be very, very helpful, and the dollars to offset these enormous costs certainly don't hurt.
And the website is sdhumane.org if you want to watch as this whole thing progresses and find out exactly what's going on at the San Diego Humane Society. Hay and money. Hay and money. I've never really heard a request for hay before, but let's see if we can band together and find some hay for the San Diego Humane Society so they can help with the livestock and the horses that are needing this at that time. How many horses would you say you have evacuated out?
And again, it's not just us. Cumulatively within the county, we're figuring it's about 3,000 horses that have been relocated. A significant number of them are either on Fiesta Island or at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. And then others are up at a couple of locations that we have, a lakeside rodeo site that we've been able to take over and keep animals at. So they're stretched all around the county. We've been able to, one of the challenges here is when you look at those numbers and you evacuate 500,000 people, I've been told that's about a fifth of the population of San Diego. We've run out of space to send the people to once we evacuate them, and the same with the animals. That's been our greatest challenge, and that's not something that somebody can contribute from out of state because, we want to stay within our own community. The people that are evacuated want to stay within their own community, so we're just making do with what we have.
And are you displaced from your house?
I was able to go back last night, and I have to share, in hindsight, it was great actually being a victim. I have a much greater understanding of how vulnerable you feel almost instantly and how it is difficult to even in the best of circumstances, because this county was very prepared to get the information you need to take care of your needs. I know I sat in my house last night with my wife. We looked at the ceiling, and we were very thankful for being back home.
Our prayers are with everybody there. And we hope the fires subside very, very soon. Once again, sdhumane.org. Links to everything you've heard on today's show at animalradio.com. This is also a good time to think, do you have that preparedness kit, that emergency preparedness kit, just in case something happens to you? And coming up in just a couple of minutes, Dr. Jim Humphries talks about the preparedness kit. Doctor, we appreciate your time and all the good work you're doing at the San Diego Humane Society.
You guys are both great. Great to talk to you again.
We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
The Animal Minute is brought to you by Urinoff, the #1 vet-recommended urine odor and stain remover. To purchase, visit www.urinoff.com. Urinoff, finally something that works.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
A woman in Gig Harbor, Washington got a big surprise when she picked up her dog from the groomer. Annie Sharifius was trying to wash off what she thought was dirt on her Shih Tzu's ear when the actual ear fell off. She rushed her dog Jasmine to the vet, who told her that the ear had been cut off and super glued back on. Jasmine had to undergo treatment for infection. Pierce County Sheriff's investigators are looking into possible criminal charges against the unlicensed dog groomer. J. Ray's Pet Grooming, the shop where the ear gluing incident happened, has been shut down. Sharifius said she cried for weeks every time she thought of someone hurting her little dog. She wants to make sure that groomer never touches another dog. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio.
Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
There's lots of reasons to need a urine odor and stain remover. Your dog's afraid of thunderstorms. Cat hates being alone. You've moved into a new house. But there's only one reason to buy Urinoff, because it actually works. Urinoff's high-performance formula gets to the source of the problem and removes it permanently, even cat urine. Many odor removers claim to work, but thousands of loyal Urinoff customers, even vets, swear by it. If urine odor is a problem in your home, reach for Urinoff, the odor remover that actually works. Available exclusively at www.urinoff.com or your local vet.
Did you know that dogs can get worm infections just from eating grass, and that those same parasites can also infect humans?
Ew, gross.
Thank goodness there's a safe and easy way to eliminate and prevent the major worms that infect dogs. Safeguard Canine Dewormer. Just sprinkle it on your dog's food twice a year.
And that's it?
Yep. For more information, visit www.safe-guard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com. It's the best way I know to protect my dog and my family against intestinal worm infections.
Hey, you know anyone who has owned a pet can tell you nothing is more frustrating than their pet soiling in the house. Often they do this in one spot, over and over and over again. There's a reason why your pets do this. Pets are attracted to their own unique body scent, which is known as their pheromone, and that pheromone is always left behind in every soiling. Therefore, it's natural for your pet to follow his keen sense of smell and go back to it. So the question is, how do we get the pheromone out so our pets stop resoiling in the house? Well, the good news is there's finally an answer. It's Get Serious Stain, Odor, and Pheromone Extractor. Get Serious is the only stain and odor remover with the ability to remove your pet's pheromone while also getting out the urine odor and any stain. Stop blaming your pets for resoiling when you used a cleaner that didn't get the pheromone out. And don't spend another minute cleaning up unnecessary repeat accidents. Pick up Get Serious today at PetSmart or visit PetSmart.com.
Do you know what you're serving for dinner tonight? If the FDA has its way, the milk and meat you see at the grocery store could come from cloned animals. And you won't even know because it won't be labeled. Cloning animals for food involves more than just food safety. Animal suffering and other ethical issues must also be considered. The cloning process uses hundreds of animals to produce just one clone, causing death or severe health problems for most of the animals involved. Just because we can clone animals for food doesn't mean we should. Contact the American Anti-Vivisection Society to learn more about the problems with animal cloning at www.endanimalcloning.org. That's www.endanimalcloning.org. And have a voice in what you are serving for dinner tonight.
Hey, you want to keep a secret from your dog? It's the new fish sticks from Canine Caviar. They're good for your dog's teeth, gums, and also his achy joints. And fish sticks from Canine Caviar are 100% natural, completely digestible, and contain no chemical preservatives, additives, or fillers, and they're low in calories. But don't tell your dog that. All they care about is that they taste good. Get your dog fish sticks at caninecaviar.com. That's www.caninecaviar.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Moore, and as a sports fan, I can tell you there's nothing quite better than spending a day in the park playing catch with a beautiful lady. Like Shirley, my dog. Listen, adopt a pet. They are the most loyal companions you will ever have. Visit pets911.com or call 1-888-PETS-911. Hooray!
For more information, go to pets911.com. Proud to be a partner of Animal Radio.
This is an Animal Radio News Update made possible by the Simple Solution Natural line of 100% biodegradable pet care products.
Pets for ransom in Tucson. I'm Hal Abrams. Pets for ransom, authorities say, is a growing trend in Tucson and south of the border. It's the same scenario. A precious pet goes missing, and just as fast as the poster goes up, someone calls to claim the reward. But it's not just luck that leads the finder to a pet. It's a crime that's happening in our own neighborhoods. Marsh Myers of the Animal Cruelty Task Force says he's seen cases where a home burglar takes valuable pets and later calls the owner to front the cash in exchange for the animal back. It happened to Karen McCluskey. A potential buyer came to her home, and a few days later, 4 English bulldogs were stolen. Karen later found one dog in the newspaper, advertised for sale. They were asking $2,500 for him, no papers. To safeguard your pet, Marsh says owners should register dogs and be sure they always wear collars with identification. You could even have a microchip implanted in your dog. That can help prove ownership. And of course, keeping a current photo of your animal can help the police. And contact authorities immediately if you suspect your dog has been stolen or is being held for ransom. Get more tips and breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by the Simple Solution Natural line of 100% biodegradable pet care products. Get more at animalradio.com. Earth-conscious consumers have an eco-friendly choice in pet care. The Simple Solution Natural line of 100% all-natural pet products. 100% biodegradable training pads. Biodegradable even by California standards. They'll biodegrade faster than an orange peel. Also, Simple Solution Natural Pet Stain and Odor Remover. A great alternative to harsh chemicals found in traditional household cleaners. Simple Solution Natural, based on a way of life. Find Simple Solution at Petco, PetSmart, or your local pet retailer.
Our hearts go to everybody in San Diego and Southern California with the fires. Once again, we're getting lots of calls here. If you want to help out the San Diego Humane Society, they need green and green, hay and money.
There you go.
And their website is sdhumane.org. And, of course, everything you've heard on today's show at animalradio.com. Now, still to come, well, of course, 3 superb stars from The Young and the Restless. First up is Greg Rickard. Also today, from Animal Planet's Animal Precinct, Anna Marie Lucas. Try saying that 3 times fast.
All those A's.
She's joining us. She's a regular guest on Animal Radio, as you might know if you're a regular listener. And she's talking about puppy mills this week. Where to get your animals, where you can adopt good, healthy animals. Also, Kyle Orant.
Yes, we check in with him on his update on his auction.
His celebrity collar auction.
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, he is. I think he's made, well, I don't know. We'll find out what he's made. I know that he has a brand new collar from Glenn Close, who was on Animal Radio last week. Lots of good stuff on the way. And you just informed me during the last break that last week when we gave away a big red box, of course, that's the first aid kit that you want to have for your disaster preparedness kit.
From Country Dog and Friends.
You said we had 2 to give away. We only gave away 1 last week.
That's right. We still have 1 left.
Let's do that right now. This is the big red box from Country Dog and Friends. A first aid kit for your animal. You should have one around the house. 1-866-405-8405. Hi, Animal Radio.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Real good. Good. Hey, I just heard you talk about getting the little first aid kit there.
The big red box.
Yeah, that's it.
Where are you calling from?
South Lake Tahoe, California.
And who is this?
My first name is Doug.
Doug, I believe we have 1 big red box for you. What kind of animals do you have?
I got a big English foxhound I saved from the pound, and I got 3 little miniature dachshunds and a cat.
Awesome. Big family.
4 big bears that come into my backyard a couple days a week. So.
Oh, my.
They return?
Oh, they were all 4 there. Well, the mother and her 3 cubs were there last night. So.
Wow.
I just walked back, and I seen the one climb over the fence, and then 3 more followed, and then I heard a little hissing, growling noise, and I'm just 10 feet from me on the other side of the wood pile was the mother looking at me. So I figured, I better back up.
Yeah, you know how those mother bears can get.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have a big family there. Do all the cats and dogs get along?
Yep, they all sometimes they're all sleeping together in the same bed, or half of them are in my bed. So,
especially this time of year as it gets colder, they're all.
They're all, when they come in, they all lay right in front of the fireplace that's always burning. So.
We have one of these Country Dog big red box first aid kits for you, Doug. If you hold on 1 second, we'll get a little information from you. Thanks for listening to Animal Radio.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I enjoy the show.
I said enough. Hey, gang, this is the Money Man, Eddie Money. Make sure you spay to your pets and keep the dial right here to Animal Radio. It's the greatest station in the world.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
Still to come on today's show, Animal Planet's Anna Marie. You know I was practicing during the break. You know I had it down perfect.
You did so good until you
Animal Planet's Animal Precinct's Anna Marie Lucas. She is joining us, and of course she has a tough job. But she's on TV, and it's actually a fun job. I'm sure it's... Shut up?
Yeah.
Oh, we got too much to do. Okay, it's Young and the Restless weekend here at Animal Radio. That's why we're all giddy. And we have Greg Rickard on the phone. Which line is he on?
He's on 1.
Hi, Greg.
Hi there.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. You're between takes at work?
I am.
Working on The Young and the Restless as Kevin Fisher. And of
That's
course,
right.
Boy, what a life you live there.
Well, it's another day.
Thank God that isn't the real life. Do you have any pets at home?
I do. I have 2 cats, Zoe and Garp, and a dog named Fred, who's going to be joining me this weekend.
Oh, very good. We're talking about the Race for the Rescues this weekend, and I wanted to tell everybody, where is that website? www.racefortherescues.org. Now, are you running in this?
Well, I think that's all. It all depends on Fred, basically. I think we'll probably start out in a run, but he only weighs about 25 pounds, so we'll see how he keeps up. I think we're going to start out running, and I have a suspicion that we'll be walking by the end of it.
What kind of dog is Fred?
Fred is a Beagle Pug mix.
A puggle.
A puggle, if you will, yeah. He's a good boy.
I've committed to the 1K. That's all I can do, and I would bring the dogs, but it's a long trip for us, or the cats. They might like it.
You let the cats walk on the leash around the backyard, but I don't think I could get him out on a run.
It's funny. I have one of the cats just lives to try and get out of the house. She's so smart, and she'll be waiting by the front door, and when I come in, I have to have one hand on the doorknob, and the other hand has to be down at the bottom of the door, blocking her exit. Because it's just there's a lot of between the cars and the coyotes, there's a lot of obstacles outside that that they don't have to face inside. So I don't know how she'd do. I think she'd, if I took her with me, I don't know that I'd ever see her again. I do my best to keep her inside, because I sort of feel like if I even let her out a little bit, like if I put her in the backyard for a little while, then it's almost like you whet their appetite, and then they're never satisfied. Then they just want to go out all the time.
You give them an inch and they want a mile.
Exactly. So I give her some some kitty grass, and she's got one little house plant that she pretty much massacres, and I'm like, that's the compromise.
And that's good. You've drawn the line in the sand, and Judy, drawn the line in the kitty litter box, kitty litter sand. Judy, actually, you have a cattery and you take them out.
I have it's a big 10 by 30 chain link dog run that
so they can already
cover
go out.
the top. They can go in and out of their own free
and
will.
You take them out.
Wow.
Oh,
but that's not enough. They want
that's
an inch, and they want that mile.
Yeah, I've thought about building something out in the backyard or whatever, but it still concerns me, because there's in my neighborhood there's a lot of coyotes and stuff. So
yeah,
with all the animals there, you have dogs and cats. Do they all get along?
They get on pretty well. There's one of the cats, Garp, is Garp. Yeah, it's Garp, Zoe, and Fred. Garp is your quintessential trepidatious cat who I think just kind of enjoys his relationship with Fred from above. So they don't interact too much. But Fred and Zoe, it's kind of fascinating, because Zoe I've had for about 6 years now, and Fred's about 2. And it literally took about a year and a half. But just in the past 6 months or so, they have finally sort of finagled this relationship, and it's fascinating to watch the nonverbal communication that goes on between animals. Where for a year and a half, he was filled with this puppy energy and would just constantly try and play with her, but he weighed 2 or 3 times as much as she did, and he'd overwhelm her, and he finally gets it. And I think that has to be due to whatever she's communicating through her hisses or something that says, "Hey, we can play, but you need to back off," and he does, and it's fascinating to watch them. I don't even watch TV anymore. I just watch the cat and
which is good.
All day.
Oh, that must be fun.
No commercials, and
it's wonderful. Yeah, exactly. No commercials.
They've established a pecking order, and they've sort of gelled.
And exactly. Although I always say that Garp, the one who kind of hides from everything and doesn't get involved, I tend to think that he's the one who's actually ruling the roost, and that he's kind of orchestrating everything that's going on below him.
Probably is.
Yeah.
We're with Greg Rickard. The Young and the Restless plays Kevin Fisher. Was it last week? Last week we had Glenn Close on, and she told us one of the questions she has on her blog that she asked her celebrity guests: if your animals were celebrities
or a famous person,
who would they be? So I'm going to ask you, Fred, Zoe, and Garp.
Okay.
Who would they be if they were famous celebrities, or just famous?
I would say it can be alive or deceased. Okay,
absolutely.
I think Garp to me has a very Brando-esque quality, where he doesn't say much, he doesn't move around too much, but he just has this quiet intensity that you don't want to mess with him. You just he gives you that look, and you will respect his space in the way that I imagine if I had ever met Marlon Brando, I would probably feel the same way around him. Fred, let's see, who would Fred be? Fred would be some like obnoxious child actor, I would imagine. Fred would be like, the one who never listens, the one who like throws tantrums on the set and stuff. No, he's not that bad. But Fred, but he does have that sort of youthful energy. So let's see,
Does he come down to the set?
No, we're not allowed to have.
They don't let you do that, huh?
Yeah, I think. But this is a good place to put my foot down and say that needs to change, because
yes.
I think he'd make a lot of fans here. Fred, yeah, so I'd say Fred would just be some sort of, I guess one of these, like, celebrities that you're constantly reading about on TMZ who's going out and getting into trouble and not going to his crate when he's supposed to.
Okay.
And then, let's see, then we have Zoe.
I noticed you left Zoe for last there.
Well, yeah, because I think she's the most difficult one to pin down. She's my baby. I mean, I love all my kids, but she's, the one I've had the longest. And let's see, who would Zoe be? I don't know. I'd go with someone sort of like, I might say like a Julia Roberts, because she's sort of like everyone loves her, and she's, just sort of like dynamite in my eyes. So
wonderful animals and
wait. So who did? What were some other good answers?
I noticed that Glenn Close, she picked her dogs as the Dalai Lama and Barney Fife. Yes. One extreme to the other.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's. See, now I feel like those are better answers. I almost want to reconsider.
Well, we'll get back to you on that. You know what? I'll tell you what. We're going to speak to you within 24 hours live at our broadcast from the Race for the Rescues, and we'll ask you then.
We'll give you some time to think about it.
Give you some time to think about it, okay?
Okay, well, I hope tons of people come out, and I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a great afternoon.
And once again, I want to mention that you can head on over and register day of. There is a late fee. It applies. It's, I believe it's $3,000. No, it's just $25 for that late fee. And, of course, this all starts at 8:30 a.m. Registration opens at 7 a.m. Check out the website, www.racefortherescues.org.
Right. Come join us. Walk, run, crawl, whatever.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, I'm Vanna White, and I invite you to help solve the puzzle of saving animals' lives. Come on out Sunday, October 28th, to the annual Race for the Rescues 5K Run, Walk, and Pet Adoption event at the Pasadena Rose Bowl. Proceeds benefit 8 nonprofit dog and cat rescue groups. Go to racefortherescues.org to sign up and make your tax-deductible donation. Make adoption your first option. racefortherescues.org.
Hi, this is Hal from Animal Radio. Come join us as we broadcast live from the Race for the Rescues.
Honey, look, I taught Rocky a new trick.
He's 12. You know what they say about old dogs. Hey, Rock, what'd she teach you to do, sleep?
Funny, no. I taught him to email me when it's time for his vet appointment and vaccinations, notify a call center if he's lost, and give the kennel his feeding and med schedule.
Did you give him a brain implant?
No. I bought him a Cougar tag for his collar.
Cougar tag?
This little USB Cougar tag. Oh. Yeah, plugs into any computer. His vital information's right there for the vet or kennel to read.
So our address and phone number aren't hanging off Rocky's neck. Wow, neat trick.
Yeah, honey. Neat.
Cougar Tag, the world's smallest USB pet tag for dogs, cats, even birds. 24/7 Lost Pet Center, vital health and vet information, appointment and vaccination, reminder emails, and more. All in a universal, non-invasive, waterproof tag. Let your pet teach you a new trick. Visit CougarTag.com today. That's Cougar Tag, KOOGA tag.com. CougarTag.com.
Hi, this is Shelley Morrison from Will and Grace, and I'm on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pets. Please.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
Disaster preparedness for pets. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Jim Humphries for Animal Radio. This time of the year brings the potential for many types of disasters, both natural and man-made. Are you and your pet prepared? From hurricanes to earthquakes, gas leaks to acts of terrorism, we're all at risk for some sort of disaster. Because events occur quickly, decisions are made fast, and you need to have a plan for yourself and for your animals in case of such a disaster. First and foremost, if you're ordered to evacuate your home, you should plan to take your pets with you. Even anticipated short evacuations time can turn into week-long absences. Other recommendations include maintaining proper identification on your pets, preparing evacuation kits, and obtaining important medical information from your veterinarian. You should have all this ready and waiting by the back door just in case. Acquaint yourself with the types of disasters that affect your area. Then develop a plan that will get you and your pets out of harm's way. For pets, this may mean putting them in a small carrier and into the car quickly for a evacuation. For farm animals, you may need to have an appropriate trailer handy and know where you can take each animal to be away from the danger and still receive proper care. Be sure all your animals have good identification. Rabies and ID tags are the best form for small animals. Microchipping is becoming a popular form of animal identification. An ID tag and a halter also works well for large animals. An animal carrier and an evacuation kit are the two most important things you should have ready. Have your evacuation kit near the carrier or the cage and keep these items fresh. This allows for fast action. For an evacuation, all you'd need to do is put your pet in the carrier and grab the kit and go. An old overnight bag or a backpack works really well. Some of the most important items to put in your animal's evacuation bag would include any necessary medications, leashes, food, medical records, towels, bedding, and a couple of bottles of water. Now, returning home after a natural disaster, believe it or not, has some of its own disasters and its own important issues that you need to prepare for. If you've taken your pet with you, realize that many familiar items may be changing or missing from their environment. Survey your home for potential dangers such as broken glass and other electrical lines that might have come down during the storm. Keep current photographs of your pets. They are essential if you need to look for your pet, especially if your pet gets scared and runs off after you come home. These pictures could be used to create lost and found posters for your neighborhood. Checking the local shelter and animal control facility daily is a vital means of being reunited with your pet. Finally, inform your neighbors and let your veterinarian know if your pet has run off. As we've seen in several widespread natural disasters, many people will not evacuate without taking their pets with them. Leaving your home with your pets does not have to be a disaster in and of itself. So, pre-plan, put some thought of this in advance, and you'll avert another disaster. For the Veterinary News Network at myvnn.com, I'm Dr. Jim Humphreys reporting for Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, this is Emmylou Harris on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pet.
Animal Radio is brought to you by the American Anti-Vivisection Society. Stop the FDA from allowing milk and meat from cloned animals to be sold in grocery stores. Contact the American Anti-Vivisection Society for information at www.endanimalcloning.org.
Hey, you want to keep a secret from your dog? It's the new fish sticks from Canine Caviar. They're good for your dog's teeth, gums, and also his achy joints. And fish sticks from Canine Caviar are 100% natural, completely digestible, and contain no chemical preservatives, additives, or fillers, and they're low in calories. But don't tell your dog that. All they care about is that they taste good. Get your dog fish sticks at caninecaviar.com. That's www.caninecaviar.com.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
We've only just begun. Animal Planets, Animal Precincts, Anna Marie Lucas.
You got it right that time.
She will be joining us in a few minutes. Also, it is a Young and the Restless weekend. We still have Judith Chapman and Michelle Stafford. Also, both of them fine actors beyond Young and the Restless there. Let's go to the phones. 1-866-405-8405. I'm sorry, I just had a little brain lapse right there. Hi, who's this?
Faye Henry.
Hi, Faye. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Very good. Where are you calling from?
Shoemakersville, Pennsylvania.
Shoemakersville, Pennsylvania. Okay, now we have 3 stations in Pennsylvania, so where is Shoemakersville? Is that east, west, north?
Well, that's just outside of Reading.
Oh, Reading. Okay, listening on WEEU, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
How can we help you today? Tell us.
Well, you had said about stories about your animals.
Yes.
And we had gotten ours, a Dalmatian, from the SPCA here in the Humane Society.
Good.
And she was under 30 pounds. You could see every rib and every bone in her spine. They said she was in with I don't know how many other dogs, and they were starving her. Apparently, when they put the food down, when she used to go for it, they must have taken it away from her, because when we would put food down for her, if we would go near the dish, she would back away from it. So we figured that they probably were teasing her with the food.
What kind of dog is she?
A Dalmatian.
A very anxious-ridden dog, huh? But she's better now, yes?
Oh, yes. The vet was really surprised with her that once we found a food to keep in her, because everything we tried, puppy food, everything, her digestive system was such a mess that she would throw everything up.
Ooh, that's
couldn't
too
keep
bad.
anything down. And finally, we found a dog food that that agreed with her.
How old is she now?
Well, we have her since '98, and they figured she was about a year and a half old when we got her. So I think she'd be about 10 and a half now.
Wow, how's she doing?
Really good, except she's an anxiety dog. If we go away, she shakes that her tags on her collar rattle.
Oh, she has a little bit of separation anxiety.
Oh, big time. And we tried different things for her, and nothing seems to work.
What kind of things have you tried?
Well, we were giving her some herbal medication. And we tried the radio, keeping the radio on and stuff in that. And there was another kind of medication I was giving her. I can't remember. I think it was capsules-like. And nothing seems to work with her.
Have you tried doing like small trips, or just walk out the door and come back in 30 seconds, and then go out again and come back like in a minute, and each time you just walk out the door, increase it so she knows you are coming back. And when you go to leave, don't make a big deal. Don't go over to her and say, "Oh, baby, Mom will be right back."
By the way, this is the biggest mistake everybody makes.
Yeah.
They when they leave the house, they go over to their animal and they say, "Oh, I'm going to be right back. Mommy and Daddy will be right back." And
we usually don't do that to her because of the way she acts.
Yeah, you just ignore her and walk out the door, and then come right back, and just keep doing it, and she'll get used to you that when you leave, you will come back.
Well, she doesn't get used to it because she howls. She sounds like a wolf. And, we had people walk past the house and kind of ask us what kind of dog we had, because all you heard was, oh! she really has it down bad.
I know that Dalmatians, by nature, are generally a little bit antsy, a little bit uptight. Have you told your doctor, your veterinarian, about this?
Yeah, but she was the one that had given us different kinds of things to, the medication.
Yeah.
We started out with the herbal, figuring, we'll go the natural way.
Right.
That, like I said, that didn't help, and, we go outside, like to even hang a wash. If I let her in the house, she's... and I had the doors open and stuff, and she can hear me out there and stuff, because I talk into her and stuff, but she's just, I think she'd be on help.
Well, you can also, exercise her, take her for a nice long walk, or throw the ball for 10 minutes before you leave, because a tired dog is usually a happy dog, and if she's tired and if you leave and come back a few times, she may get used to it, but after 10 years, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
because like I said, we just about tried everything. But the granddaughter, I have a picture of her there. She's pulling. Our dog's name is Princess, and she's pulling Princess's ears straight up in the air, and and she never did anything,
Can we get Princess some kind of toy, kind of dog
we
toy?
Put together some kind of package for Princess.
Oh, okay.
We wish you the best of luck. I wanted to mention Comfort Zone. You've probably already tried it. Comfort Zone works in about 50% of the cases. It's a plug-in or a spray that you can get at your local pet store. And, of course, others that are having this kind of problem, anxiety problems with your animal, not yourself, but with your animal, you can go to your vet. Sometimes they have medicines that, just like humans use, there's Prozac, I know, that's being used on cats now, and also has about a 50 to 75% efficacy rate. Hold on 1 second, Faye. We need to get some information to send some dog toys off for Princess, and we thank you for listening on WEEU in Reading, Pennsylvania.
It's nice talking to you. Thank you.
Separation anxiety, it's a pretty big darn deal, isn't it? We hear about it all the time.
A lot, yes. And I'm afraid to say that sometimes the people are partly to blame.
Really? Oh,
yes.
If you're having a problem, 1-866-405-8405 or your voice at animalradio.com. We're going to take a quick break for top of the hour news. If you're leaving us now, remember there's lots more Animal Radio at animalradio.com. In fact, we're streaming live 24/7. You'll have the latest breaking news on the fires in Southern California or anything that's animal related. You can also get it on your cell phone. Simply text ANIMAL to 27627. Of course, all those details at animalradio.com.
And remember, if you get a pet, please spay or neuter. And if it happens to be a cat, don't declaw. And always adopt from your local shelter. I'm Judy Francis.
I'm Hal Abrams. We'll see you next week for more Animal Radio on this fine station. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
This is Animal Radio
Network.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
Well, Judy, you've jam-packed this hour. It looks like our Young and the Restless weekend continues with Michelle Stafford and Judith Chapman. And I got to mention, you know, you look at these ladies' resumes, they're much, much larger than, simply the soap operas that they've worked on for 15 years. Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
How do you hold a gig that long, especially in the entertainment business? We'll find out. Also from Animal Planet, Animal Precinct's Anna Marie Lucas. And I believe she's online, too.
Yes, she is.
And we're going to go to her in just a second. Also, a little information about adopting a dog, how we can help you adopt a dog. And I believe we're going to call Kyle Orant, little 9-year-old Kyle Orant, in just a few minutes. Hi, Anna Marie.
Hey, Hal. How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
You know, we always talk about work.
I know.
I'm wondering...
Work.
Work. Do you have any animals at home? Tell us about your home life.
Oh, please. You don't even want to know. I have several dogs and several cats. Let's just put it at that.
And they get along?
They do. They actually have, I have 8 dogs and about 11 cats right now.
Wow.
But I have a big house and I have a great husband and we make sure our work schedules work around the animals. It's all about them.
What does your hubby do for a living?
He's actually just retired from the New York City Police Department. He was a detective.
Oh,
wow.
But actually now he has the best job in the world. He is the shelter director of the Putnam County Humane Society, which is where I live in Putnam County, New York, which is upstate New York. So he's fabulous at that, and he has about 200 animals that he's responsible for taking care of. They're a no-kill shelter, truly a no-kill shelter. And it's wonderful. So I get to go visit those animals, and that's what I do on my time off. I go visit my husband at the shelter. So
is that how you got so many animals?
No, just a couple from there. I've been on the job for 12 years, so I've been rescuing, and animals just seem to find us for some reason. They always say that about, people in the animal industry, but,
yes.
Every single one of them really needed a home. So how do you say no?
Sure. Are they animals that you found on the job there?
Some are, yes. I rescued a mom. It was actually one of the episodes of Animal Precinct. I rescued a mom with her 4 babies, and they had been separated. They were all emaciated, and I took them home just to foster them because they had been separated, and they were so happy to see each other. They were such a great little family, I didn't have the heart to separate them. So that's how I got 5 really quickly. And so that kind of, put us over the edge. But we've rescued a couple from my husband's shelter, some from the ASPCA, some from the shelter I used to work at before I came to the ASPCA. So some are old, some are young, but let me tell you, it could be a full-time job in and of itself.
Sure. Yes. With all these animals needing rescue, we hate to hear about puppy mills. And for you and me and Judy, we know immediately what puppy mills are. Maybe the someone who just tuning in the first time to Animal Radio doesn't know what a puppy mill is. What is a puppy mill?
Basically, it's just the mass breeding of dog and cat. Let's not forget the cats, too. Mass breeding of companion animals. It's a huge operation where numerous types of breeds are bred, and it's the very minimal care that that are given to the adults. That is the concern here. You know, when you go to a pet store, you see these beautiful little puppies jumping up and down. They all seem great. Or, you know, you see all these great ads on the internet for beautiful home-raised puppies and raised with kids and these fabulous ads. But what they really are is this seedy seedy huge business.
That's what I want to mention. When you say little, it's not exactly the picture you paint. You don't exactly think of a back room where they're breeding these animals in mom-and-pop operations. These are big companies, big corporations that sell to pet stores. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I mean, it can start as maybe a breeder, say, somewhere. Missouri's a big state. Let's pick on Missouri for a little bit. It happens everywhere, but Missouri's a huge state for that. So there's many hundreds of breeders in Missouri, and there are these distributors that come along, and they will buy the puppies from these puppy mills, we call them, and then they will take those puppies and then distribute them across the country to pet stores. So you might see the name, maybe the Hunt Corporation.
Yes.
Might come up, which is huge. Lambrier is another one. So when you go to a pet store, and actually they have to show you now, on the cages of the animals, there should be the distributing company and where that animal was bred. So if it says Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, you know, those are some states that are really heavy into puppy mills. So you want to be very wary, and you have the right to ask the pet store, where does this puppy come from? I'd like to see his or her lineage. I want to know where they came from. Were they from a distributor? You know, what state did they come from? And they have to give you that information.
Should we be buying our pets from pet stores in the first place? I mean, definitely we can get our supplies from the pet store, but the animals?
No. I mean, I know it's so hard, and it's a catch-22 because all puppies need homes. You know, the ones that are in pet stores need homes. But every time, you know, you get a puppy from a pet store, that's another adult, beautiful, beautiful animal that is suffering back in some, you know, low-end, you know, mill somewhere. And let me tell you something. The conditions are horrendous. I've dealt with a couple here actually in New York, more backyard breeders, which aren't as big, but still do the same sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kept in cages. They're never touched. They're given a really bad diet. No medical care whatsoever. They're never groomed. They never play. They never see the light of day. It is just horrendous. So all they do is spend their entire little lives breeding over and over again. And when they're of no use anymore to that person, they are then discarded. Either they're killed, they're sold to another puppy mill. It's really just the worst life possible for these beautiful, beautiful animals who bring us so much pleasure through their puppies.
People that go to pet stores, I think, generally think they're getting a better animal than they would get at the shelter. They feel like a shelter is a used car dealership as opposed to a brand new car dealership. Quite the opposite situation, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, I have animals from everywhere. They've come from everywhere, and I have to say the shelter animals are amazing. You don't know until you go to a shelter just how wonderful the animals are, so I really recommend that everybody go to their local animal shelter, Humane Society or SPCA, and just walk around, talk to the staff, take a look at all of the animals. And if you want a purebred, 1 in 4 dogs that ends up in an animal shelter is a purebred, believe it or not. So if you want that little Yorkie, you've had your heart set on a Yorkie. The ASPCA just had a 6-month-old Yorkie that came walking in off the street with his owner who couldn't keep him anymore. I mean, this stuff happens all the time where you can get pretty much any type of dog that you want if you have your heart set on that type of dog. You can leave your name with your information at the shelter, and if a dog comes along and you pass all of their requirements, then they'll call you, and you can make that connection. I mean, I see it at my husband's shelter up in upstate New York. They have beautiful little Shih Tzus. It's amazing. These little, Havanese, I mean, dogs that you would never really see, golden retrievers, I mean, just beautiful purebred animals waiting to be adopted at shelters. And it's like that everywhere.
You also hear these horror stories about people who purchased animals from a pet store that months later they come up with all these diseases that weren't apparent at the time of purchase.
Absolutely.
They seem to be very ill.
Absolutely, because the parents aren't getting any care. So therefore, they're overbred. They're bred maybe with a brother or sister, who knows, with the inbreeding that's going on. So you're not getting a healthy, quality puppy because the parents are so sickly. They could have diseases that, weren't even recognizable at the time. And then when you get the puppy home, of course, a lot of puppies will die from, like, parvo, which is a horrible virus that, a lot of dogs get because they're not getting the care. They're transported all across the country. They spend days in these trucks, and then they're loaded off trucks. They go to a pet store where it's not clean a lot of times. And it's just a horrible, horrible life, for those puppies in transit as well. And then they get to the pet store, and a lot of times they're teeny tiny. Everybody wants the teeny tiny little breeds, the little Chihuahuas and the little Yorkies, and the smaller the better. Well, when you have a 1 or 2 pound dog, just the slightest thing can hurt them seriously, or they can get very sick very quickly. They become anemic very quickly, so they have to be fed several times a day. And pet stores aren't known, for their quality of care. I hate to say it. I'm sorry to the pet store owners out there, but I've been in thousands of them, and I see what goes on.
Sure.
They're treated like machines. The animals are treated like machines. They're not treated like they are the lovable pets that we want them to think.
We're with Animal Planet's Animal Precincts, Anna Marie Lucas. There's a lot of A's there to start with. And your beat is primarily on the street, but there's a whole new technology, listen to me, 10 years old, 15 years old, let's say, the internet, which it has its uses, certainly for finding an animal and going to view the animal in person. But there's a lot of shady operations on the internet which actually sell the animals direct to you over the internet. Is that correct?
Which is the huge problem that we're facing now with the laws that were enacted back in 1966, the Animal Welfare Act. Those laws cover, breeders, and the USDA oversees them, but nobody oversees the internet, where you can sell directly to the buyer. So say I'm a breeder in the state and I have, all of these puppies to sell. I can just sell them, and nobody's regulating that. So who knows, how many are out there? I would imagine there's thousands and thousands of people trying to make a buck, using animals to do it. And you'll see the websites. They are incredibly beautiful. You'll see these beautiful pictures of puppies in little outfits, running around the yard, and they're sitting on a chair or sitting on a couch. But trust me, most of that is all staged just for the picture on the internet. Ask them if you can come and see, when you finally make contact, if you can come and see where those dogs are kept and meet the parents. And you will get a no every single time. And if you don't get a no, then, that's something you might want to pursue. That might be a good place where you could actually go and you want to meet the parents. You want to see how the animals are kept. If they're not doing anything wrong, they should have nothing against showing you what they do. And
as we learned this week, also read that contract.
Oh, please. Yes. I see both sides to every story. I'm an investigator, so sure. I'm trained to do that. And there are two sides to every story, and unfortunately when animals are involved, emotions, are very strong. And it's just a very unfortunate situation. So hopefully everything works out.
ASPCA.org is the website. Of course, links to everything you've heard on today's show at animalradio.com. Anne Marie, thanks so much.
I so appreciate it.
We'll speak soon again.
Take care.
Veteran actress Judith Chapman is on the way. Do you remember her from 28 Days?
I do. Yes. How could you forget?
Great actress. She's on the way. Your calls at 1-866-405-8405. And giveaways. God, I love the second hour giveaways.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, it's Lisa Laporta from HGTV's Design to Sell for Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pet.
Honey, look, I taught Rocky a new trick.
He's 12. You know what they say about old dogs. Hey, Rock, what'd she teach you to do, sleep?
Funny, no. I taught him to email me when it's time for his vet appointment and vaccinations, notify a call center if he's lost, and give the kennel his feeding and med schedule.
Did you give him a brain implant?
No. I bought him a Cougar tag for his collar.
Cougar tag?
This little USB Cougar tag. Oh. Yeah, plugs into any computer. His vital information's right there for the vet or kennel to read.
So our address and phone number aren't hanging off Rocky's neck. Wow, neat trick.
Yeah, honey. Neat.
Cougar Tag, the world's smallest USB pet tag for dogs, cats, even birds. 24/7 Lost Pet Center, vital health and vet information, appointment and vaccination, reminder emails, and more. All in a universal, non-invasive, waterproof tag. Let your pet teach you a new trick. Visit CougarTag.com today. That's Cougar Tag, KOOGA tag.com.
CougarTag.com. Did you see the paper? They mentioned cloning animals for food.
Seriously? I thought cloning was still pretty experimental.
It is. Most of the animals die or are born with some sort of health defect.
So why is the FDA going to approve it?
I don't know. It's upsetting that the FDA seems to be ignoring scientific evidence that animals in cloning suffer. And the FDA says that it won't even label cloned foods.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, and we could be eating meat or drinking milk from cloned animals and not even know it.
Is there anything we can do to stop this?
You can. Contact the American Anti-Vivisection Society at www.endanimalcloning.org to learn more about the problems with animal cloning and to help keep cloned food off grocery store shelves. Cloning animals for food is not just about food safety. Animal suffering and other ethical issues have been ignored for too long and must be considered. To learn more, visit www.endanimalcloning.org. Just because we can clone animals for food doesn't mean we should.
Buddy, don't do that.
Don't worry, lots of dogs eat grass.
Didn't you hear? Dogs can get worm infections from eggs and larvae in the grass. Those parasites can even infect humans.
I know. That's why I give my dog Safeguard K9 Dewormer twice a year. It's a safe and easy way to eliminate and prevent the major intestinal worms that infect dogs and to protect my family against infection.
Where can I find out more?
Just visit www.safeguard.com. That's SAFE-GUARD.com.
Every year, there are millions of pets in animal shelters across the country just waiting for a loving home. I'm Mike Farrell with a very simple message. If you're thinking of getting a pet, please adopt. To easily locate your closest place to adopt, call Pets 911 toll-free at 1-888-PETS-911. It's easy, it's free, and it gives a pet a second chance at life. Together, we can ensure a better future for our pets.
For adoptable pet listings in your community, go to pets911.com. Pets 911, proud to be partnered with Animal Radio.
Every once in a while, there comes along a special group of animal lovers that stands strongly in defense of the voiceless. Animal People is that newspaper for people who really care about the animals. Animal People is published 10 times yearly. The publisher is a nonprofit corporation dedicated to exposing the existence of cruelty to animals and to informing and educating you so that animal lovers worldwide can eliminate such cruelty. Your subscription is $24 a year and is 100% tax deductible. Get Animal People's fair and accurate investigative reporting from the industry watchdog. Visit our website at www.animalpeoplenews.org. That's www.animalpeoplenews.org to subscribe to the news for people who care about animals. Animal People. Subscribe today at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
This is Animal Radio
Network.
This is Jane Lynch on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your animal. Spay or neuter. Let me say that again. You don't want to do both. Spay or neuter. Let me say it again. Can I do that?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, God bless. I'm going to try it one more time. Hi, this is Jane Lynch on Animal Radio. Please spay or neuter your animal. I love it.
You do so good early in the morning.
I'm so caffeinated right now, can I tell you? I'm barely holding it together.
You're awesome.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
As you can well imagine, we got a lot of books here. In fact, it's no joke. We have a UPS break station here, right in the right next to the entrance of Animal Radio.
Yes, where the UPS guy, when he delivers books, just has a seat.
We got one here. Your adopted dog. Everything you need to know about rescuing and caring for a best friend in need. Boy, everything you need to know. I've heard that before. I've seen that. And then I open the book, and for you know what? It really is everything, everything you need to know, from even deciding to get an adopted dog to where to find a rescued dog to behavior training, all put together. A couple of great authors, Shelley Frost and Katrina Lorenzatos Macris. And we have Shelley with us. Hi, Shelley. How are you doing?
Hi, you guys. I'm doing great. How are you?
Very well. I guess it took a long time to put this together. This isn't one of those books that someone said, have it ready in 6 months, because certainly a lot of research has gone into this.
I have to tell you how when we were kicking around the titles and we really knew we wanted that word everything in the title, that did send us into a tizzy. We knew we had to really be thorough, do our research, And in fact, when we turned in the manuscript, it was 100 pages over, so we had to cut out 100 pages.
That's not easy.
No, that was not easy.
I love how you started with an interview with the Albuquerque mayor.
I know it. You know, his story had just come out. I found it on, maybe it was CNN, and I immediately called his offices because he is the kind of person who can really make a difference in this world for animals. And that's exactly what he's done with the legislation that he had passed in his own town.
But what is that legislation?
Well, he passed an ordinance, or suggested an ordinance of some mandatory spay-neuter ordinance for any animal over the age of 6 months must be spayed or neutered, or you face fines. Now, there are situations where breeders can pay a fee so that they can continue to breed their animals. He worked it out with the breeders. He wanted to be very user-friendly with them, and I guess politically that's what he had to do, but he was on the right track, and it's a first step, so we were very excited to get his story in our book. And he takes his own rescue dog to all of his appearances, Dukes, and he's very famous in the town of Albuquerque, and he spreads goodwill, and he's a spokesperson for all homeless, needy dogs everywhere.
I see that you just have stories in the very beginning, just success stories, wonderful, warm, fuzzy stories about rescue dogs.
Well, in fact, Katerina and I, when we were writing the book, we both happened to rescue dogs in my case, I kept my rescue, Kelly, and so she appears throughout the book. Katerina rescued a dog while she was in Greece and, in fact, brought him all the way over to the States and placed him in a new home.
Wow.
I know you probably get this, too. You have the people that say, okay, if I'm going to a shelter to get an animal, well, if it's in a shelter, it must be used, it must be broken, it must have luggage.
Some of course, animals in shelters have a story to tell, and some of them are not happy stories. But in most responsible shelters and rescue agencies, they do have behaviorists who evaluate the dogs before they are put up for adoption. And, of course, a veterinarian health checks them, too, before they're put up for adoption. And then in our book, we really point out all of the things to look for before you choose your dog, whether you have cats in your home and that you need to make sure that the dog and the cat will get along, young children in your home, is your backyard fully fenced, all of the ins and outs and the how-tos, everything you need to think about before you bring any particular dog home, and, of course, the get-to-know-you period before you adopt the dog. So we're really thinking in the animal's best interest.
The book is called Your Adopted Dog, Everything You Need to Know About Rescuing and Caring for a Best Friend in Need. And like I said, you've probably seen that on other books, Everything You Need to Know. This truly is. I have 10 copies right now at 1-866-405-8405 to give away. And, of course, you can get this anywhere, Amazon.com, bookstore. And I just understand Judy has just let me know this has become part of the Animal Radio Book Club. So we're going to go ahead and add that as one of the great reference guides for getting an adopted dog. Your adopted dog. Shelley, if we want to learn more through a website, where can we go?
Go to www.youradopteddog.com.
Thanks so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you, Hal.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, Animal Radio.
Oh, hi. I just heard you had a radio giveaway. I don't know if I'm calling at the wrong time, or is it a tape show? Or
well, tell me, where are you calling from?
South Lake Tahoe.
And what's your name?
Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. Are you calling about the adopted dog, the guest we just had?
Yeah.
I have an extra copy of that.
That'd be great.
Do you have any dogs at home?
No, I have a cat.
You have a cat?
Yeah.
Are you? But you're a dog person or just an all-around animal person?
Yeah, I'm an all-around animal person. I've only been bitten once, and it was in the back of the leg, and that's because I guess that was made clear to me that I couldn't be in the same room with the dog, and then somehow he got in, and then somehow he just attacked immediately. So,
wow.
I guess once you know your dog, if a person knows their dog, then you shouldn't be alarmed if you're being bit. But it did hurt for a while. Yeah, so I'm kind of like shy of dogs.
So you're a cat person now?
Yeah, especially pit bulls I'm shy of. I don't know why.
I can understand.
Most people are.
Yeah, they just look like the gargoyle thingies, you know.
I've never heard them put like that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll send you the dog's book, and I'll also throw in Cat Be Good since you have a cat, too.
Okay.
Okay, hold on one second. Thanks for listening to Animal Radio.
Oh, thanks.
Hi, Joanne Worley on Animal Radio. Hello! And please spay and neuter your pets. Be a responsible pet owner. As a matter of fact, spay and neuter your friends' pets also. Give it to them as a Christmas present. What a good idea.
PetGadgets.com. If you're looking for innovative and high-tech pet products. PetGadgets.com. Unique and high-tech products that you won't find at your local pet store. PetGadgets.com. Find the latest products that will make life easier for you and your pet. PetGadgets.com. Everything from massage beds to a remote-controlled tennis ball launcher. PetGadgets.com. Be top dog in your neighborhood. Shop at PetGadgets.com.
This is Animal Radio
Network.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
It is a Young and the Restless weekend. And who's up next? Is it Judith? Judith Chapman. Hi, Judith. How are you?
Well, hello, Hal.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And you?
Very well, thank you. Are we calling you at work?
I am. I'm sitting in my dressing room. I think it's the only place that's not on fire in Southern California.
Yeah, I hear about that. Boy.
Right now. Where are y'all?
Well, our studios are located about 3.5 hours northeast of Las Vegas, but we're all across the country. From Coast in Los Angeles there to XBA in Long Island.
Great.
And we send you our deepest sympathies about the fires. I mean, that's just horrible what's happening.
It's just something. I mean, for here locally, the Young and the Restless was preempted today because of the fires, and when it comes to that the whole hour is preempted, you know it's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah. How does that affect you there that they have to preempt that?
Well, it's interesting because I hope, and today was a particularly big show, a big catastrophe, disaster. So it's a little sad because everybody in the country is seeing it but us. So, hopefully we'll get a later air date on it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: you have pets at home?
I do. I have 2 puppies.
Yes. How long?
Well, they're not puppies anymore. They're getting on in years, but they're still pretty spry. I have Shiva, who's my German Shepherd, and I have a wonderful little pound pup that is half Shar-Pei and half pit bull.
Half Shar-Pei, half
Shar-Pei, half pit bull, and all attitude. Good attitude. She's my comedian in defense.
How long have they been with you?
Shiva, we got her actually when she was a little older because we lost our beautiful Doberman, and so she was about 8.5. But she's still pretty spry. And Little Pup came along about a year later, so Little Pup, the pit bull is called Little Pup, is about 6.5 or 7.5 now.
We spoke to Brian Datillo a couple of days ago, and he says he takes his dogs down to the set. You probably actually worked with him, didn't you, at one time?
Yes.
On days?
Yes, I did. Well, unfortunately, I spend part of my time, my work week, when I'm working on the show, I'm in Los Angeles, and the rest of the time I'm in Palm Springs in the desert. And my other half, James, he owns a restaurant there, so I actually make the commute back and forth. And my puppies are always very, very excited when I come home. But if I'm not working so much, especially the pit Shar-Pei, because she has so much attitude, and I stay home for more than the weekend or 2 or 3 days, she like looks at me and it's like, what, you two getting along or something? You staying around longer? You haven't got your overnight bag and you're leaving? And it's like, and they finally go, okay, you're leaving us again. But they after almost nearly 3 years, they've become pretty used to it.
Have animals always been part of your life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always. I've had cats, but I'm not such a huge cat person. When I was living in New York before moving to California, I had a wonderful cat, big, huge tabby. And, of course, she was an indoor cat in New York, but I brought her on the plane with me to Los Angeles, and actually literally on the plane with me, next to me, as I'm moving to California because we were late for the plane. But she was such a cool cat, this huge, like 12 pounds. I mean, not fat, but just a big tabby.
Cat.
And I used to put her a collar and take her down to Santa Monica Beach. She thought she was in the best litter box in the whole wide world.
I bet.
But she became an outdoor cat. Dandy, her name was Dandy. She was my dandelion. And but she, I had a Volkswagen convertible when I first came to California, and she could hear my car coming around the corner, and she would come bounding across neighbors' yards to be sitting on the porch when I got home.
Oh.
She was. I think she was part puppy.
Now, of course, you've done some parts in Murder, She Wrote, and Magnum P.I., but you always, also The Sweetest Thing and 28 Days, two great movies, but you always seem to return to the soaps.
The soap scene.
I do. I've done so many soaps over the years, but it's interesting because if you added up all the years I've been on soaps, it would really only be maybe a third of what my entire career has been about, so it just is a testament to how powerful soaps are and how popular they are. And but yes, I tend to go back to soap operas, and I couldn't be happier because this is the first soap I've done in almost 13 years.
And that's Young and the Restless.
Yes, this is Young and the Restless at CBS.
And you play Gloria.
And I played the fabulous Gloria.
The Big Abbott family.
From the Big Abbott family, yes. Well, I married into the Abbott family, and of course, John Abbott, who now has passed away on the show, he comes back as a ghost once in a while. His children just thought I was real trailer trash and hated me, but...
Do you ever walk down the streets and people confuse the real person for the character you play?
It has happened in the past. It doesn't happen so much these days. People, I was in a restaurant just the other day, and somebody said, Gloria! But it's usually because they may not know your real name. But I have, in years past, I remember years ago when I was on As the World Turns, I was outside of Bloomingdale's one day, and I don't know if I could say this on the radio, but I was called a not a very good woman and a nymphomaniac on top of it. And all these people are looking. I said, it's a story. So it can get confusing sometimes.
Do you respond by the name Gloria?
Oh, sure. Why not?
We have you on the air to talk about the rescue train and the race for the rescues happening this weekend.
I am so excited, and see, it's going to work out perfectly when I got the email and the faxes about it, because I will be driving in from Palm Springs, so I will just stop right there in Pasadena.
So you're not going to run?
Oh, I will run.
Oh,
but I'll be driving from Palm Springs, and then I'll get out of the car and run.
We don't expect you to run from Palm Springs. That's a long one.
Yes. Thank you. It's unfortunate I won't be able to bring my pups with me. They do stay in the desert, and they're so excited now that the weather's finally cooling off that they definitely get friskier, because those summers can be a little brutal in the desert.
I bet.
But they manage quite well.
I'm going to do the 1 mile run because I can't do the 5K.
So he enters in the kids division.
Oh, that's okay.
But anyone who wants to do either the 1 mile or the 5K, it's interesting how they do the 1 mile it's actually 3.2 miles is 5K. If you think you're up to it and want to raise some money for a great cause, you can register day of the event, or you can get more information right now at www.racefortherescues.org.
Absolutely, and I encourage everybody to come out, and those of you who are in the neighborhood and can come out and join us, we won't walk very fast. We'll just clip along at a nice, comfortable pace, and whether you do the 1 mile or the 3 mile, it's such a worthy cause, and with these horrendous fires we're having here in Southern California now, and when I drove in yesterday from Palm Springs, you could see the smoke, and all you think about is not only the domesticated animals, but also our little wild furry creatures as well, the coyote and the deer and the rabbits who are out there trying to survive this madness. And but the efforts have been so noble to get the horses out of Malibu, and really an all-out effort. So my heartfelt appreciation and thanks to those who not only stop the fires and help evacuate the people, but do help the animals.
Yes, a lot of great animal lovers up there. Our hearts are with you, and our wishes and our prayers.
Thank you. But nice to talk to you, Hal and Judy.
Thank you.
To another Judy. Great, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Very good.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Animal Radio is brought to you by the American Anti-Vivisection Society. Stop the FDA from allowing milk and meat from cloned animals to be sold in grocery stores. Contact the American Anti-Vivisection Society for information at www.endanimalcloning.org.
Honey, look, I taught Rocky a new trick.
He's 12. You know what they say about old dogs. Hey, Rock.
What'd she teach you to do? Sleep?
Funny. No. I taught him to email me when it's time for his vet appointment and vaccinations, notify a call center if he's lost, and give the kennel his feeding and med schedule.
Did you give him a brain implant?
No. I bought him a Cougar tag for his collar.
Cougar tag?
This little USB Cougar tag. Yeah, plugs into any computer. His vital information's right there for the vet or kennel to read.
So our address and phone number aren't hanging off Rocky's neck. Wow, neat trick.
Yeah, honey. Neat.
Cougar Tag, the world's smallest USB pet tag for dogs, cats, even birds. 24/7 Lost Pet Center, vital health and vet information, appointment and vaccination, reminder emails, and more. All in a universal, non-invasive, waterproof tag. Let your pet teach you a new trick. Visit CougarTag.com today. That's Cougar Tag, KOOGA tag.com. CougarTag.com.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Get Serious, a stain and pheromone remover so easy to use, even men can do it. Hey, wait a minute. Don't take any more excuses, women. It's time to get serious. Get Serious is available at PetSmart and online at GetSeriousProducts.com.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
And I wanted to talk to Kyle Orent. I believe we have him on the phone. 9-year-old Kyle Orent in a celebrity collar auction. Of course, he raised $20,000 for Canine Companions for Independence, and now he's on his way, I believe, to around $10,000.
His mom is on line 4.
Well, let's go there. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
How's Kyle doing?
Great.
Is the auction going pretty good? I mean, I understand there's still a couple of collars up there.
A couple more left. We most of the collars are gone. We have a few more left, and so he's hoping that they'll do well as well, and he'll come with a final tally.
And the last time we spoke to him, he was getting matched. Is that correct?
That is correct. He's someone who's matching him 1,000 per 1,000. So he's very happy about that. He's going to actually make his goal of $10,000.
Wow, that's very good. I guess the last time we talked to him, was it Dean Koontz? No, it was him. He had the collar that had the highest bid.
He did, but Dean Koontz did bypass him, I believe.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's get him on the phone and find out what the deal is.
Okay, one second. Let me get him.
Hello.
Hi, Kyle. How are you doing?
Good.
Well, it looks like you're coming to the tail end of your celebrity collar auction.
Yeah, it's almost over.
Almost over. Let's see. Who do we have left up there?
I know the Jets Sack Exchange is left.
Uh-huh.
And, some collars from the Rockies are coming in.
Oh, wow.
Still more coming in, huh?
And, of course, the Rockies heading to the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be worth a lot now.
Yeah.
We asked Glenn Close. She's an act. Did she send you a collar?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If we got his yet.
Okay. It's Glenn Close is did you ever
played Carolyn DeVille?
Yes. On 101 Dalmatians.
So we're hoping that'll get there very soon. So how much have you raised so far?
I'm pretty sure I'm 26.
2,600?
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course it's being matched.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's we're going to get to 10 grand though, right?
Yep.
Okay. There's fuzzy math there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all comes out in the wash.
How much did Dean Koontz go for?
I think he went for 400.
Okay.
Very good.
Did you get a dog?
Yeah, we have a dog.
Yeah, a brand new dog?
Yep.
What is her name?
Her name's Jessie.
Jessie. Do you know what kind of dog she is?
I'm pretty sure she's a Cocker Spaniel.
Pretty sure. Not 100% sure.
No.
Is she a puppy or is she a little bit older?
She's still a puppy.
She's still a puppy. Does she listen to you?
Sometimes. She sometimes gets so excited.
Uh-huh.
What does she do?
Sometimes she jumps off your legs and does backflips.
A back-flipping Cocker Spaniel.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
What color is she?
She's like a white.
Just white?
Yeah. She's like a dark white.
Uh-huh. I think they call that buff, I think, in the
that's what the color is.
Yeah,
buff.
It's called buff.
Okay. Well, give her a big old hug for us, and we'll check in with you as soon as you wrap this thing up and find out where we ended up, okay?
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, Animal Radio.
Oh, well, of course. And thank you.
Kyle.
Yes, Kyle.
Hi, this is Bob Barker, listening to Animal Radio. Help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered.
Preventing pain, fear, and suffering of animals through nationwide education and awareness from all across the globe. This is Animal Radio.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time. I know Michelle Stafford, or should I say two-time Emmy Award-winning Michelle Stafford, is hanging on line 5, I believe. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Are we catching you at work?
No, I just got home.
Just got home, okay. And welcoming the pets as you get home?
Yeah, they're sitting all around me.
Set the scene, if you will.
Well, I have 3 big dogs.
Uh-huh.
I have a golden retriever. I have a greater Swiss mountain dog, and I have a Rottweiler.
Wow. That's a big family there.
Yeah, I got a big family, and the Rottweiler's a girl, and the other 2 are boys.
They all get along?
Oh, God. I can't even believe how well they get along.
How long have they been part of the family?
Let me see. The love of my life died a little over a year ago, and he was a Rottweiler.
Mm-hmm.
And sounds like I'm going to say a person, but of course it's a dog. And but I had him since he was a puppy, and he was my boy. You know, he was my love.
Uh-huh.
And he died last year.
Oh.
And then I had Beauregard, the golden retriever. And I thought, I need to get a dog right away for Beau, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
Sure.
So I got the Rottweiler, a female, though, so I wouldn't compare her to the other one, right?
Right.
And I can't even tell you how different a dog she is. The
Really?
female Rotties are so different from the males. It's like a totally different dog. And then I found this other dog, this greater Swiss mountain dog, and then I thought, gosh, can I have 3? I can have 3. So I got 3.
Do you remember your first pet?
Oh, of course I do. It was I had a collie lab mix, and her name was Tipper. Tipper. Tipper.
Okay.
How old were you?
I was 3 years old.
And you remember that?
Yeah. Oh gosh, of course. Yeah, I had dogs all growing up. We were never without a dog ever. And then the second dog I had was Ty, and he was a mastiff German Shepherd mix. And we rescued him. Then the third dog I had was Bandit, and oh my gosh, she was just a mixture of a bunch of things, and we rescued her.
It sounds like you have a thing for big dogs.
Yeah, it sounds that way, doesn't it?
Yes.
I do. I do. I like big. I like little dogs too. I mean, I'm not adverse to them, but I really love big dogs. There's something about all that weight and. You know, and they're strong, and they protect you, and that's what dogs love to do. They love to protect their master.
Better than a boyfriend, huh?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you ever take them onto the set? You're at the Young and the Restless now, right?
Yes, yeah. They don't allow animals there. And in a way, it could be distracting. I mean, it would be so boring for the dog, though. I mean, they have a huge yard here, and they play with each other, and and do their business when they want.
They actually probably have more fun at home.
They do. They have a lot more fun. I mean, they're pretty much a pack. There's 3 of them, so they're really a pack.
We're having a sudsy, soapy weekend, and we're asking our guests if their dogs were celebrity or high-profile figures. Thanks, Glenn. I'm sorry, I was stealing Glenn Close's bit. If they were high-profile celebrities, who would they be? If Beauregard was a celebrity or just someone famous?
Okay, if Beauregard were a celebrity, he would be Tom Hanks.
Oh, handsome, huh?
Yeah, he's handsome, but he's also, everybody likes him. He's just that good guy. He's just a good guy. That's Beauregard. That's my golden.
Uh-huh.
And, and he's not a fighter. He doesn't like confrontation. If he has the ball and Josephine grabs it out of his mouth, he just lets her have it.
Oh.
So Beauregard would be Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Duke would be Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, okay, why is that?
He's just funny. He's a hilarious dog. I don't know what he has a really great sense of humor. He's just a funny dog. I don't know why. He's just a goofy, funny guy.
Uh-huh.
And he's tough, too, which I think,
Yeah.
And then Josephine, Josephine, oh gosh, Josephine's difficult because she is afraid.
A little shy.
Oh, yeah, but kind of afraid. Timid. I would say timid. She's a little timid, but then she's really tough. So who would she be?
That's hard to say. There's not a lot of high-profile figures that are timid.
No, she's timid, but tough. And she's smart, too. So I'm having a hard time with the Josephine.
Brew on that, and I'll tell you what, I'll check in with you tomorrow at the Race for the Rescues.
I know, right?
Yes. Are you going to be running?
Yes, of course.
Are you going to bring anybody with you?
No, because there'll be lots of dogs there.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to go alone. I mean, my dogs would love it, of course. But it's about the other dogs, you know. I don't want my dogs coming in and people going and people taking them.
Do you plan on taking any home?
Oh, my gosh. It would be so great. I would love it. But I think that legally I'm only allowed 3.
Is it the law there in L.A.? Is that where you are?
Yeah, in this city, in Hollywood, it's the law. Only 3. Unless you get a kennels license. A girlfriend of mine has 7.
7?
Yeah.
Does she live in the city limits?
Yeah, she lives in the city, but she works it out. She has a kennels license or something.
Oh, okay.
Got it covered.
Yes, we don't want to get her in trouble.
Totally.
Are you running the 5K or the, like me, I'm going to just do the 1K?
He's doing the kids race.
You're doing the 1K?
Yeah, the kids race.
I'm kind of
I may do the 3K.
Okay. Somewhere in between there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you can sign up all the way up to register. Well, registration opens at 7 a.m., so last minute.
Right.
Race starts at 8:30, and, of course, more information at www.racefortherescues.org.
Yes.
Is there anything we should be looking for on Young and the Restless that you could tell us about?
Well, Phyllis is in impending release.
Impending release.
Yes.
Does everyone survive the explosion?
I don't know. You're going to have to tune in.
Okay. I thought I might get it out.
You're going to have to see.
Tune in with 20 million people every
day.
Every day. That's some coverage there.
I know.
You're going to love that. Okay.
Right?
Well, we appreciate you hanging with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, gosh, guys. Thank you so much.
RaceForTheRescues.org is the website.
Cool.
We are so out of time, but remember, there's lots more at AnimalRadio.com. In fact, some of the stuff we couldn't get in today's show at AnimalRadio.com. Get your Firestorm 2007 breaking news. Simply text ANIMAL to 27627 or check out AnimalRadio.com.
And remember, if you get a pet, please spay or neuter. If it happens to be a cat, don't declaw. And always adopt from your local shelter. I'm Judy Francis.
I'm Hal Abrams. We'll see you next week for more Animal Radio right here on this fine station. Bye-bye.
This is Animal Radio Network.